Hello, Boss Kidz, and welcome to another exciting podcast. Today, I have three lovely guests with me, and today we will be talking about women pursuing advanced degrees in their careers. I am, as you may know, Taylor Wiley, a senior marketing major hailing from the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, and I attend Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University. And today we have three lovely ladies that will also introduce themselves as well.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Cecilia Bailey. I work in community engagement, and I guess I actually have an advanced degree, so I could talk a little bit about that.
Hello, everyone. I am Maya Robinson, a senior marketing major hailing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm grateful to be here to speak about on the podcast today.
Greetings, I am Kirsten Wilson, a junior majoring in political science with a minor in English, hailing from Memphis, Tennessee, and I also currently attend Alabama A&M University, and I am so excited to have this opportunity to talk about women in pursuing their degrees.
Pursuing an advancement degree can be a life-changing decision for women, offering both exciting opportunities and significant challenges. So today we will be talking about just the pros and the cons that kind of go into women pursuing those degrees. Just to get us started off today with a couple cons that I think just the number one that I think about first is just the time commitment that it takes for women to pursue a degree, because a lot of women kind of don't start their advancement degree straight out of college. Some women go into the workforce and kind of go back, and it is very time committing.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
I know you said you have an advancement degree as well. If you wanted to kind of touch on that and touch on whether or not you went right out of college or if you went to the workforce first and then went back to school.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, Taylor, because I think the transition from undergrad to grad is critically important. For me, I didn't introduce myself and talk about, my background and things like that. But, my undergraduate degree was in fashion design.
I'm the king of fashion.
And so, out of school, I thought, I wanted to become a designer, or I could, become the next Donna Karan. And that didn't necessarily happen. I didn't love fashion for that reason. I loved fashion for the reason that I had an opportunity to teach people how to look good and therefore feel good, right, about themselves. So it was more of a self-esteem type of thing. But in working in other aspects or other areas, after graduating, I worked in an organization that did relative foster care. And it was from that experience that I began to understand what was happening in our communities that added to the detriment of some of these families.
That's pretty interesting.
And it was a little child that shared with me how he wanted to become a gangbanger or a drug dealer because he felt like those were the only options in his community. And I said to myself, how do I change the landscape? How do I do something that makes this little child feel like he has other options? What do they call that? And they said, that's called urban planning. I said, I need to go back to school for that because I want to make sure that communities are healthy and they are thriving and they have all the things that they need.
Good job.
But what I would encourage people to do is to make sure that you understand why you're going. If you're working in an area and you feel like in order to get to the next level, that advanced degree is necessary, that's a good reason to go back. If you're looking to, learn something new in a different area, like I did, I feel like that's a good reason to go back. But to understand it, because like you said, Taylor, it does take time and it does cost money. So if you can find a way to do it for free or next to nothing, that would be the thing that I would tell you to do, especially if you don't know how much you're going to earn once you start working in that space.
Yes, and I also I really like how you touched on experiences, because as you said, your undergrad degree is in something totally different than what your advancement degree is in?
I would say, well, since I don't have an advanced degree yet, I would say when I was growing up, I actually wanted to pursue fashion designing as well. And I would say it most definitely, your path is most definitely influenced by experience, because when I was around 8, between the ages of 14, that's what I wanted to do. But when I got in high school and started taking pre-law classes and history classes, that I knew my passion was more so in civil rights and law. So I will most definitely say, in future references, like it is, it could change, but as of right now, it most definitely has influenced my experience.
Let's go for it!
And, any conflict with your family or just challenges that you faced when trying to chase your degree and trying to balance your personal life things as well?
That's interesting, because it's very real for women. What I had to face, for the first time was managing my personal expenses while being in grad school, because I was not at home with mom. I wasn't, getting free rent. So there was a lot of new things that were happening in terms of being able to pay, my car note and put gas in my car, being able to pay my rent, without being late, being able to pay my credit card bills and things like that I had accrued over the other years of being grown and adulting. And so that is a balance.
Yes, that's awesome.
And it taught me a lot, about what I could do. But I would say that if you're planning for that you need to plan for how you're going to finance everything, without having to take out loans just for your living expenses. If it's something that you can do, by moving back home or moving in with a family member, then that's fine. But if you are doing it with a partner or a spouse and you have children, that's something to consider as well. You need to make sure that all of those things, are in place so that it does not stress you out.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yes, that is true. Having to face life when you go back home after graduation and living on your own, it is a big difference.
Yes, it is.
In life. Before we go and kind of transition into the pros, did anyone have anything else to kind of add on or just to piggyback with the cons before we moved on?
I do. I would actually say my mom is a great example for that. When my mom was I believe she was in school, she got pregnant with my brother, and so she had to pause her getting her undergraduate, her associate's degree while, she had to take care of my older brother. And so then I came along and she was still in the workforce, making sure that she was helping provide for the family. And then once we got to a suitable age where we can fend for ourselves, she went back into school and she obtained her associate's, bachelor's, and master's. So I will say it is most definitely true that women will put their lives on hold or on a back burner to make sure that everybody that they are surrounded by is, attended to and good. And I would most definitely say my mama was a great example of that.
That is so sweet.
One of the main pros that I think about when thinking about women in advancement degrees, not only is it a higher pay or higher salary, but I think it's just big on breaking stereotypes. I think it's big in families, just as you all said, like your mothers have advancement degrees. And I know, Maya, you're going to get an advancement degree. I know, Kirsten, you're thinking about going to law school. So I think it shows a big stereotype, and it's breaking a big stereotype in the Black families and with women and with their daughters. And it influences their legacies or their children to also go chase and get an advancement degree as well. Did you guys have anything to touch on with that at all?
That's a good question.
I would just like to say, like, basically what you said about me going to law school. I'm already in a statistic where I'm in not only a male-dominated organization, but a white male-dominated, not organization, but career field. And it is very, very imperative that I go to school and make sure that I know what I want to do so I can be in those positions to where I have an advanced degree and I can go further with that degree, because a law degree can go to so many different things. So people think it just goes straight to lawyer. I can do so much with a law degree, so it's crucial to me.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
I don't agree with Kirsten with that. Being that I am trying to pursue a higher degree, it can kind of sometimes get intimidating when you're applying to all of these schools and trying to figure out, okay, where can I get the most money? And also, like, piggybacking off, trying to relate to my mom, like, when she would get her master's, like, that was like 2003. Like, we're in 2025 now, so a lot of things are really different, and she can't maybe not help me with some of the stuff that I want to do, being that her degree is in education and mine is in sports marketing. So it's kind of like getting hard to navigate sometimes, but I'm just trying to push through and pray for the best outcome in these situations. So,
Again, a good point.
I would say make sure that it's something that you want to do. Make sure it is something that you feel like you can make a contribution to society, to the world, to your purpose or whatever, before you go and do it. And Maya was talking about, financing. So yes, things are very different. I got my advanced degree in 1998, right? And so for me, I looked at schools that had great programs in urban planning and policy. One was Rutgers, I was not gonna go there, and one was University of Illinois, Chicago. And I was like, oh, there's a great school that's got this program right here in my city. Why don't I try that out?
Good point.
So I would say, discover, work as much as you can, network, meet people, you can talk to people, on LinkedIn, if they talk to you, right? Email them or inbox them or whatever the thing is called on LinkedIn, and see if people will just have a conversation with you about what they do. See if they'll let you shadow them.
Write that down.
And so you never know where you might work in a space, but just understand, why you want to do it. How do you get joy from it? Because I think when you choose something that you love, you become better at it.
Having an advancement degree, I think it kind of causes for like a personal fulfillment or like a personal growth within yourself, because I feel that sometimes if you're happier with yourself, like if you're happy in your career, it causes you to be happier in other parts of your life as well. Like,
if you can go to work every day and love what you do, and it not have an impact, even if you've got like a crappy manager, right? So it's like, you can sustain that because you know that at the end of the day, you're doing something that you absolutely love, right? And so fulfillment is a big part of it, but you also need to make sure that you can take care of yourself, as well, that it is something that provides more than a living wage, for you, so that you can, go into, other levels. And I think also understanding like what are the categories that you can advance in the workplace.
I love that.
But I think there needs to be more conversations around discovering, the opportunities in an industry, because everybody who can rap not going to be a rapper, right? But they could work the boards. They could do some other stuff that's aligned or in the music industry. And a lot of times those people behind the scenes may make more than the ones that are, on the, front cover of the album. Mm-hmm. So I think that is important too. Discovering all of the possibilities that you could, in a certain field is important.
To me, that's important.
I just want to say also, like, I feel like it's not really made known of all of the different careers that are in one specific field. Like, I didn't even know half of these jobs existed if it wasn't for TikTok, like, or other social media platforms, without actually searching or asking or speaking with people. So I feel like that should be more made known, or people should be more aware of it.
Now imagine, Maya, 25 years ago, when we didn't have no TikTok, no Google, no Google Plus. You know, we just had pen and paper. We had encyclopedias. We had the schools. It was kind of like who you knew. And that's why a lot of people did what was familiar to them.
Never ceases to amaze me.
I went to Northern Illinois University because my big cousin went there. I didn't have a collegiate background in my family where we, talked about HBCUs, or we talked about schools. My parents didn't come from that. So we just did what we knew. But you all have a lot of resources, but I still do believe that there is a deficit in what that looks like. I think that part of education needs to be exploration, that there's opportunities for students to learn in different environments and to try different things aside from just going to class every single day.
That's really impressive. Whoa, bravo, wow.
I mean, that's just Cecilia speaking.
Yes, no, I do. I totally agree. I think it's very important to, just as I said earlier, just kind of like love what you do, because it makes it easier to do. Like when you love something, it doesn't feel like a job.
Find the thing that works for you, and then you'll figure out a way to make it work.
That's impressive. That's really good. I mean, I'm very impressed by that.
I will add something. I wish there was a platform like this when we were younger and coming up. But I encourage you all that if you can find mentors, if you can find champions, if you can find sponsors, do that, because that is going to be the thing that gets you where you need to go. Yeah. You can have all the degrees in the world, but if you don't have an entree into that said place, it still might not work. Finding, those people that can advocate, for you.
Yes, definitely.
Right. And staying connected to them. And don't let it always be a one-sided thing. Like, it's like, hey, Miss Angie, I've got a job interview, and, what do you think about this, that, and the third? But volunteer and spend some time with Miss Angie, or whoever it is, outside of you wanting or needing something from them. But just, show your worth, show your initiative, and, stay curious.
I think this was a lovely talk, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in and just kind of adding your input to everything. I really do appreciate it. And Miss Cecilia, I really want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come on and kind of give us a new insight, because I know we are kind of in the same kind of stage of our life, but just to get your perspective on these things was very insightful, and I just want to say thank you for that. But thank you everyone for watching this video, and always tune in to more videos and more podcasts to come with Boss Kidz Inc. And please follow our Instagram page at Boss Kidz Inc. Follow us on LinkedIn and other platforms as well. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Boss Kidz Inc. family. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Before you go, we have a small favor to ask that could make a huge difference. As a nonprofit, Boss Kidz Inc. relies on the support of generous people like you to keep our mission going strong. Every donation, no matter how small, helps us create more amazing content, empower young leaders, and grow this incredible community. You can find the donation link right below this video. Your support means the world to us. And don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thank you for being a part of the Boss Kidz Inc. family. We'll see you next time.